Today, I'm going to run through a presentation, best practices for marketing and growing your landscaping business online. I'm Andrew Jackson. I'm the CEO of Landscape Marketing. Let's kick off. North Shore Digital powers landscape marketing. This is our primary focus, growing landscaping businesses online. Our results speak for themselves. We'll show you some of these results in the following slides. And our mission is to make data make sense through leading reporting, where we calculate your return on investment, your cost per lead. We analyze data to help grow your business. We have various partnerships and accreditations. We're an award-winning agency, and that's enough about us. Here are some of the companies we work with in various guises, lots of landscaping, some irrigation, some lighting, and an installer and a distributor of world-leading German engineering called Romex. So various experience with landscaping businesses. Here's one, Earthscape. This is a company in Elmira in Ontario. And here are some of the results we've had with them. From 6 months of working with them, we've helped them come from an $8 million company last year to a $10 million annual revenue company this year. We're able to attribute around $1.5 million from revenues to our Google Ads and search campaigns. Total number of online inquiries in the 6 months has been 848. And we're able to get their cost per lead at the moment hovering around $12 from Google Ads, which is a crazy good value. And we've done this by increasing their website traffic from all devices by over 100%. And the audience that we've been bringing in from ad campaigns are 125% more likely to convert than the average user. And as a result, increase in revenues from online sources up 300% year on year. Okay, here's Great Canadian. Standout results from working with Great Canadian over 2 years has been we've helped grow their revenues in peak months to over $1 million attributed from online sources through their website forms and calls. Total number of inquiries since February 2020 is 3,891. The increase in website leads during this time compared to before is over 240%. Average number of inquiries per month on their website is 139. When you add in Google My Business calls and inquiries, this is over 200 and currently is more than that per month. And the average cost per lead from Google Ads has come down from way up around $100, $80, $60, and now the average for the 28-month period for 2.5 years is $25. That includes all locations, all services, which are as diverse as snow removal, all the way through outdoor living, carpentry, hardscaping, softscaping, and general landscaping, maintenance, design, and installation campaigns. Increase in web traffic over those years has been 222%. So all in all, lots of success to report here. Romex, so a very different type of company, but again, they've had some spectacular results in terms of engagement and growth in traffic. So big thing to begin with here is when we started working with them, their website users were around 500 for new users in 1 month. And recently it's peaked to 5,869 in 1 month. So there's been over a 10-fold growth in new users coming to their site. It's also a very engaging site. The average time on the site is about 3 minutes, and average session contains 5 different page views. What do people do on the site? They call, they fill in a form, they find a store, they download a PDF for a safety sheet or guidelines on how to use a product. And there's been 4,826 of those recorded since 2018. And this is growing like crazy this year. So increase in website traffic is there. They've even run in a Google Ads retargeting campaign where for $15 cost per inquiry, they're getting a call from Google Ads. So this is not typically the major goal of their campaigns, but it's a really nice byproduct. So as well as being educational, informational, and engaging, their site is actually converting now to what they want, which is more sales opportunities. And we've done this also through SEO. So now they are on the top page of Google nationwide for 22 of their industry keywords. Okay, let's look at this landscaper marketing machine. So you can see this typical sales funnel. There's 4 stages. And this is how we describe lead generation websites in terms of what we do with them online and offline. But there's really 4 stages to it: awareness, engagement, lead generation, and results. And you can see there are various components that come to play in each different section. So let's start with awareness and search engine marketing. It's the most important vehicle to get people through your sales funnel online. So it starts in awareness. So you might be getting people who've never heard of you. It can lead through engagement. So once they click on an ad or a ranking in Google, they visit your website, they might watch a video, consume some content, read a blog, check out your landing pages. Basically, they're engaging with your content, but then it also leads to lead generation. So if they fill out a form, they request a quote, they are going straight from awareness to lead generation. And SEO and Google Ads and Google My Business works perfectly in sync for this, because you're tapping into the user intent that's already there. People are searching for a best landscaping company they want to work with. They find you through the keyword, they go to your website, they check you out. Your website is beautiful, very visual. You are able to convert them into a lead. And we know that this flow works so well for landscaping. With proper management, Google Ads, you can earn an ROI of above 20 to 1. Our current clients are getting way above that. SEO also, content is king. You build content to rank for specific keywords so that you rank in your service areas for your services, and blogs, landing pages, very important for this. Google My Business is its own mini website generating calls and inquiries. This is super important that you have that configured and you're adding content all the time and continually optimize it, because it's like its own separate website. With Google Ads, you can have a cost per inquiry in the range of $10 to $30. That is fantastic for landscaping. Depends a little bit on your location and service. As long as you're getting the margins there, then you can be paying more for your inquiries if you're highly likely to convert them. But really, that's the range that we typically get for clients, where seasonality is key. So for example, we start advertising snow ice management in August so that companies can get winter contracts for the following months that are very important in that sort of off season for landscaping. Not all keywords are created equal. So some keywords you've just got to dominate. For landscaping, there's all sorts of different services that come under that umbrella keyword. You have to rank for landscaping where you are. The reason being, it's the killer keyword. There are over 40,500 monthly searches in Canada alone for this keyword. If you compare that to, say, hardscaping, which has about 500 monthly searches in Canada, you can see there the volume and why it's so important to be in the top 3 for your map pack, for your Google location, but also for your website and also for your Google Ads. You've really got to get that general landscaping keyword ranking. Google Ads. So here's some examples of different types of ads. There are search ads, there are display ads, there are video ads. So the Google Ads platform contains video ads as part of it. And here you can see the example of the text search ad, which these are the most important. You've got to hone in because people are still typing, they're using text, they're searching in Google. You've got to appear when someone types in snow removal, when someone types in best landscaping company, or even when someone types in the name of a competitor of yours, you want to get in front of them. And so these search ads perform amazingly well. They're the bread and butter of Google Ads for landscaping. You've got to dial them in. Then on your right here, you can see an example display ad. So display ads, this one is using a remarketing campaign. So when someone has been to the website, we will store some information in a cookie and we'll add them to an audience list that we can then retarget when people are going around the web. And these retargeting campaigns have amazing conversion rates for this particular client, Great Canadian, because they have a strong brand and a strong presence. They're very noticeable, they stand out, and it make, as the owners say it to us often, Chris, we just had to work with you because you follow us around the internet and we're always seeing you. So that's why we work with you. And so this is exactly the kind of anecdotal evidence that we see in the data where the retargeting campaigns perform as well as their search campaigns. They're able to scoop up those people in the deliberation process so that they become clients. So it's perfect for that. And YouTube, yeah, if you've got great videos, get them out there. It's great for awareness, engagement, getting people in that funnel so you can get your landscaper marketing machine up and running. So these are what SEO rankings look like. You can see here on the left is an example there of some site links above the main SEO title and description for Great Canadian Landscaping. And here's an example of a location-based landing page. So it ranks well for particular keywords in a particular location. So here we have West Vancouver Landscaping Services. You can see it's built as a page on the main website. So /West-Vancouver. And so by building specific content for a specific area, having a Google map embedded, having information, having images about that location, you can see here for 6 of their main keywords, they rank number 1 for 4, including the coveted landscaping keyword, where there's 140 searches in West Vancouver for that per month, and they're number 1. So this is the sort of strategy you need, and you need to build this out. And then you need to track it, and then you need to see what needs improving. This is Google My Business. As I was mentioning, it's its own mini site. So you can fill in various things, categories, services, service areas, your business information, when you're open, when you're closed. You can use it like social media. You can add posts, you can add information and engage your audience. And the more you do this, the more you show up for searches in Google. And if all goes well, you will rank number 1 in the map pack, as you can see on the right, for keywords like best landscaping company. So if someone is in a particular area, they type that, you want to be number 1. So the Great Canadian Landscaping Company for North Vancouver, that's where that's ranking. Blogging. Okay, so various information about blogging, why it's important, but really it's so you create a dynamic website, so you engage your users, you showcase why to work with you, what's different about you, and then also it really has this amazing byproduct of improving your SEO. So you get more and more traffic to your website, you get more and more people into your funnel. The more prospects you get in, the more you can engage them and then convert them. So blogging is perfect for this. And some ideas about it for landscapers: if you have frequently asked questions from your clients, turn them into blogs. So if someone asks, what is your design process? Or what kind of carpentry services do you do? Or what's your insurance like for snow and ice management contracts? If ever you get asked these questions, create blogs around them. These are your services, your keywords, and it basically removes barriers for people who are thinking of working with you. So do that. Here's some strategy and tips for blogs. Basically, the message is get going on it. Don't be lazy. Be extensive, create categories, measure the success of your blogs, and then promote and update your blog article and write for your audience, not for SEO purposes. Make the content useful. And then don't just publish a blog and expect it to take over the world. You have to share it on social media, on your personal, on your company page, and then share it to Google My Business, and then use it in other places. So when you create this content, you can repurpose it. So create a video, create a webinar, create a podcast, even put it on LinkedIn Pulse, put it on Medium. You want to make sure you get the most out of your content. And make sure you email people who might find it useful. Let's go back and we're going to dive into awareness again, social media marketing. Okay, so social media marketing. You very rarely see direct conversions straight from social media for landscaping when it comes to calls and form submissions on the website. However, what it does do is it builds awareness, it engages, it gains trust and loyalty within your local area. So you can gain fans, and so you can showcase stuff you do in the community, whether it's in community gardens, growing food projects, helping schools, whatever you're doing, get it out there. It really helps build that fan base. Whenever they make enough money, or whenever they've got a project, or they need landscape maintenance for their strata, or they are looking to get help with maintenance for their home, they're going to think of you and reach out. Here's some good tips about social media marketing for landscaping. You want to go where your customers are. That's the first rule. So homeowners 35 plus, they're all on Facebook. So whether you like it or not, that's where you need to be with some posts. You also want visual media. Think of Instagram, YouTube. Landscaping is very visual. You've got to show your before and after and be on there. There's also different types of videos you can use. So there's polished promos versus raw, authentic footage. You can try and have that more salesy angle of showing testimonials, happy clients, happy customers, or you can show your work culture and get behind the scenes, be raw and authentic. Use Snapchat, use TikTok, whatever you want to do to engage with Gen Z. This can be really important for hiring people. And then LinkedIn is also great for hiring, but also great for that B2B connection. If you are trying to work with a particular property management company or a strata company, this is a way in if you can connect and network there. Also can showcase your thought leadership on subjects ranging from sustainability to new methods of gardening, things that are becoming more and more important. There's always niche sites with any industry. For landscaping, there's obviously House, Homestars, 3 best rated. You want to try and make sure you're on these directories and that they are full, and you monitor them and make sure you get good reviews. Let's dive back into awareness again, traditional marketing. So traditional marketing. This is mainly about awareness because it can be costly and difficult to measure. So make sure you take a targeted approach and use specific numbers or URLs. This is the way or the trick to measure what you're doing in traditional. For example, with mail outs, don't just blanket bomb a city. You've got to pick certain areas where they're more likely to be your customers or where your messaging works well. Radio, same thing. You want to go after niche radio stations that have a particular audience in mind. So it might be a specific language like Mandarin or some other angle. Then bus ads, you want to create a unique phone number to measure the number of calls. So we use call tracking with CallRail. You can create a number that is specific to that ad. You'll be able to then see what it generates. And same thing with billboards. You can put QR codes on there or short URLs and get people to your website. A short URL could be just your domain if it's short already, like gclc.ca, then /offer, or it could be the year 2022, something like that. Whatever you want to do. But really, whatever you do offline, it's very rare that you'll get people to go online direct from those campaigns. It's more an awareness piece for when they are back on their computer later browsing, and then you show up on the retargeting campaign, or you show up on the search campaign, or your social media gets in front of them. Traditional marketing, offline marketing, working with online marketing, it's really to give it all a bit more energy or give it that boost. And yeah, it all works together to create this marketing machine. Let's jump into engagement and the website. And it has capital letters here because it's the most important part of the marketing machine. It's the central hub of awareness, engagement, and lead generation. So we put it in engagement because it really does build out people consuming content on your website. But really, you want to be increasing traffic through your campaigns, creating more people into your funnel. And you want to be doubling your traffic in the first 6 months of working with an agency like us. Then you want to make sure your CTAs, your call to actions are all prominent and visible, and people know exactly what to do when they go to your website, whether it's to call or request a quote or apply for a job, whatever it is you need them to do. Then you've got a core spine of pages that you need on your site, whether it's home, the services, location pages, partner pages, galleries, blogs. A typical landscaping website should have all these on there, especially things like partner pages for trusted contractors and painters and plumbers and hot tub suppliers, all sorts of different things that are part of your ecosystem. You generate referrals for them, they generate referrals for you, you generate links for them, and vice versa, and it helps your SEO. And then you need to just measure everything over time, your traffic, your engagement, your conversion rates, and then make sure you try and improve it. So here are some website tools I highly recommend. There's some beautiful crafted pages on all these sites and some really cool functionality, whether it's on Earthscape, the top left, the book a consultation type form, which is very nicely put together and is really great flow to it, makes you want to fill it in if you're a prospective customer. It's built on Webflow, that site, so it's a little bit different to our WordPress sites, which here we built and hosted. Great Canadian. This has really good request quote forms built into every service page. It's a lead generation monster. Then there's Romex here, which has a product selector app that we developed, where it asks you questions about what kind of a product you want, and then it will tell you which one you need at the end of that journey, because part of it is Romex has so many products, people get a bit lost, so the website has to educate and inform. And going back here to lead generation, let's dive in. So lead generation, 80+% of your inquiries should happen through your website, but there are other places you could get inquiries from, which you should be aware of. Number one, direct from ads. So people can call you direct from an ad without going to your website when they search online. So you want to measure that. Same thing with Google My Business. People will call or send messages or request quotes. And then there's the niche sites that you should have your sales team check on a regular basis, make sure if there's any inquiries coming there to respond. There's also referrals, so people can just call you from a phone number because someone has referred you. So not really that easy to track that if it's just through a central business number. But this all adds to your number of leads and potential revenues. Then you have RFPs and proposals. These can be for more lucrative but harder to win commercial and local government contracts. and you might have a sales team searching the web, searching local resources, trying to find the opportunities that, if you put in the time and effort and connect with the right people, can pay off, especially in the long run if you maintain the contracts for years with a particular strata company, for example, or a particular building. Let's go back here now to results. So here to get an example of advanced call tracking. So this is something we set up because calls are so important for landscaping businesses. If you don't have it set up, you're going to be missing a lot of calls on your data sheet that shows you your results at the end of the month. This is because someone can go to your website and they can just put in the number on their phone. They're not clicking on anything necessarily. You're not going to measure that. You don't know that happens through your web metrics. So call tracking, however, fixes this problem. You've got a bunch of dynamically altering numbers based on where they come from online. If someone comes from a Google ad, it'll show them a different number. If someone comes from SEO, it will show them a different number. If someone comes from Google My Business, a different number. You can set up a pool of different numbers so that you're more informed of where your calls are coming from. And you can see here, for example, Google Ads has generated 10 calls. 4 of them were missed. So this lets us know that maybe the ad time needs adjusting, or maybe certain people, your receptionist or sales team, are taking their lunch at a different time to what Google Ads thinks it is. It gives us room to grow and improve, but you can see the potential here with the first-time callers. 9 out of 10 from Google Ads first-time callers. So this is directly affecting new business. Underneath is a dashboard. There you can see various sources, but SEO, Google Organic, or Google Ads, and one from Yelp. And you can actually listen back to these calls and you can see the keywords that brought them in from the Google campaigns. Super powerful stuff. And then your website lead sources, so you can track this. You can see here Google CPC, which is Google Ads, generated 65 calls in this time period, as well as 3 emails and 18 form fills. You can see the power, and this kind of breakdown you can look at month on month, year on year, and you can basically assign your marketing dollars dependent on where you're getting the most inquiries. Here you can see results. In this particular example, there are 26 website leads, 1 Google My Business phone call, and from that, there were 22 converted leads for a marketing investment of $6,555. This includes your ad fees, it includes your fees to the marketing agency. And if you look at initial revenue, 25,000 and a lifetime value of 75,000, the LTV, or lifetime value generated, would be 1.65 million. And the cost per new client, just under $300. Which gives this amazing return on investment of 25,000 plus. This is extremely rosy and it's just an example, but you can see here how our conversion calculator works. Here we have Google Ads, return on investment. So you can see a breakdown of all the key metrics of Google Ads, the cost per click, how many clicks you're getting, the click-through rate, the conversion rate, how many leads or conversions, and the cost per lead. In this particular case, for an ad spend of $3,488, you're getting 105 leads at an average cost per lead $14. And if 105 of these leads, if 100 are qualified, which they tend to be very qualified from Google Ads, because you can set the demographics and the targeting and the keywords, so they should be very qualified. And if your conversion rate is 50%, an average revenue of 5,000 and LTV at 10,000, you should be generating from that 3,488 anticipated monthly revenue of 250,000 and then lifetime value of 500,000. In terms of results for you, happy customers, and getting reviews. This is the key. So there's certain review sites more important than others, but Google reviews, very important, although there are some kinks in the system. Sometimes you get reviews and they don't add them, which is something we've suffered with. Make sure you're asking people to review you on all these platforms, wherever you have a large and growing presence where you get business from. So if most of your business is coming from Google, get reviews at Facebook. It's good for awareness, but less important. Okay, remarketing and automation. So you can see here in the funnel, this section, the remarketing automation, is really about re-engaging people up and down the funnel to improve conversion rates of people who are in your funnel, but maybe are deliberating or checking out the competition. You want to hit them with various touch points and reminders that you're around and you're the best to work with. Let's dive in. 90% of people in your funnel probably are not a client yet. So how can we get them to convert? So there's the remarketing ads, which I mentioned, and I showed the example of the Great Canadian, following them around the web. There's also automation where you can have certain triggers and actions. So if someone comes to your social media, it can alert you. Maybe you send a newsletter to them based on their interests. You can have retargeting lists that you use online in different places, and then use drip campaigns based on what kind of service they're interested in. You can set this up so that in the first month to 2 months, you hit them up more often. And then you just put them on a long drip campaign where you hit them up every 1 to 2 months. Here's an example of our marketing automation platform, Sizzle. So you can see on the left, very basic workflow. So when someone submits a form, we get an internal notification to 3 emails. That's important to set up. Then you can see all the different actions that you can pick from, some to do with communications, CRM, some to do with conditions and workflow and membership, various different things you can program quite easily to set up based on a workflow. And finally, this is our proven program for landscapers. So it includes all these aspects. It's holistic, it is proven. We've got amazing results for our current clients on it, and it helps you grow your business online. But ultimately, what's important is your capacity to grow, your ability to grow, and your want to grow. So this works if you're ready to grow and can invest. If you come to us and you say you're a $5 million company and in next year we want to be an $8 million company, that's very different to say a $9 million company who wants to get to $10 million in 1 year. So just depends on your growth, your desire to grow, and the speed of growth, and your resources to grow. If you come to us and you plug in to our machine a scenario with certain numbers, we can reverse engineer it and tell you exactly what it will cost for you to grow to that and what is a realistic time frame, and work with your operational goals. If that's to grow landscape design in a certain area or landscape maintenance in a certain area, then we can adjust that so that we build in the return on investment and the revenues for your company. So next steps, go to landscapermarketing.ca with a dash in between landscaper and marketing, and get a free SEO report. If you're committed to growing your business, explore if we're a good fit, and then schedule a virtual meeting with us, and we can answer any questions. When everything looks like it's a great fit, we can send the proposal and you can review it, sign an agreement, and then we pick a date for your onboarding together and we get going. Yeah, here's some testimonials. You can find out some videos online, some success stories from our website. Go check them out. They're pretty powerful. And yeah, that was the presentation. So best practices for marketing and growing your landscaping business online. We look forward to working with you and growing your business.